my Xbox Series X has literally just turned up at the door, so I've just got to go open the door and I'll be
Go
back.
for it. Go for it. Mate, you should have got a PS5 on about Xbox. You got it, yeah?
That's my evening sorted.
Mate, put that at the start of the video, please.
Hey, how's it going, guys? This is Tom from UDS with another edition of UDS Interviews, our series where we chat to interesting people from around the world. Now, a couple of months ago, I sat down with one of my personal favourite bands, Castrovalva, to chat all about the 10-year anniversary release of their debut album, We Are a Unit. Now the album's out, I am delighted to be rejoined by frontman Leemun Smith to just catch up on how it's all gone. So, Leemun, my man, how's it going?
Tiring. Good. I'm fucking knackered.
I can imagine. Just looking at all the updates on your socials and Kickstarter and everything, it seems to have been quite an ordeal. But it's been about a week or so now since the album dropped, and just wanted to ask, what's the reaction been to it?
The reaction was really good. I was very surprised. I mean, I knew when we sold the record, well, when the Kickstarter and we got the money and everything, I was like, oh, this is brilliant. Like, and then it was, you know, mixed reactions because it was like, you know, is anybody still going to like the record? Are they still going to get that nostalgia feeling of like 2010? You know, when everybody first listened to it, and then when I got the record and I listened to it, I was like, this is great. This was meant to be on, you know, on wax. This is it. And then, yeah, when we sent them all out, the feedback was just amazing. Like everybody just posting on social media. And then people started ordering, again, you know, through just us, you know, posting other people's videos and pictures and everything. Because obviously a few people either didn't have money when we started the Kickstarter due to the lockdowns and the COVID and everything. But then obviously when people started going back to work, making money again, it was just coming through and I was just like, this is brilliant. So the feedback was amazing. Everybody loved it. And I'm so glad that it's over and I don't have to worry about the orders and all that, because I sent them all off. I think I sent like 80 something orders in one day, and I've never done that before, so that was cool.
What were we talking about before then? I can't even remember now. But yeah, I think it was the saying that this whole thing has been completely DIY. Yeah, like you've been there since, you know, as you say, sort of sourcing materials and everything, getting everything designed, and then even all the way through to distribution and everything. It's all come through you, basically.
Yeah, I mean, I went to a record store a few weeks ago, just close by me, in a little town in it's called Stourbridge, just by Birmingham. And I went in there just with the record and said, I'd like to put 2 copies, because it's kind of like my hometown-ish. It's kind of close to my hometown. And he was just like, you know, I got a distributor. I was like, no. You know what I mean? I've literally just done all this DIY from the back of my car. It's like the old days. You just get it out there, just, you know, throwing records and everything. But no label, no nothing. The people paid for it. And obviously, you know, most of my wages paid for it as well. But it was worth it. It was worth it. I have to make my money back somehow. So I'm there selling them out the back at the boot of the car.
That's the way you got to do. That's the way you got to do. You mentioned briefly at the start that you know it's been completely knackering, and just sending off that last lot was a relief and everything. Was there any sense of, like, because you have been working on this for so long and it has been this, you know, passion project? Was there anything like, well, like either what am I going to do with my time now, or was there any sort of like, is everything right? Have I got everything the way I want it to be, or were you just happy just to get it out the door and close a chapter on this whole thing?
I always do this. I always start a project, get very excited, midway, get stressed. At the end of it, get bored that I haven't got the project anymore, or I'm not doing anything with the project. So yes, when I do finish something, I do tend to feel, you know, like, I kind of want to do something else now. And but if I'm honest, like, it was just very I don't know how to put it. It was very stressful doing the whole thing, because it sounded good at the time, and then when you doing it, and with the book as well, waiting for other manufacturers to send, the record, and then someone's got to send the cassette, and then someone's got to send the CD, and then taking individual pictures of what we did for this Kickstarter. That's, was probably the most stressful part, because I was worried that people were going to start emailing me saying, where's my record? When's the record coming? And then towards the end, I think it was a week before I sent anything out, I think I got like 2 emails with an update. And I was like, no. And I started panicking, like, oh my God, I'm waiting on the golden tickets. And I was like, you know what? Forget the golden tickets, just send everything out, because people are like, well, you do, don't you? You get impatient. I get very impatient when I pre-order something. I'm waiting, like, where is it? Where is it?
Well, yeah, you wouldn't be excited about it if you were patient for it, but yeah, I mean, even Kickstarter was quite a new thing for you guys as well, because there was obviously the issue of figuring out what everyone's t-shirt sizes were, because Kickstarter just doesn't give that option. So just like wrangling up everyone's information must have been a massive ball ache as well.
Yeah, because some people didn't contact straight away, so obviously I had to track them down through social media and everything, which was a bit weird. And then obviously when I asked people to send me emails, they were sending me through my personal Instagram, my Facebook, Castrovalva one, and it was just getting all muggled up. But with me, I'm a spreadsheet guy. Everything has to be on a spreadsheet. So I made sure everything was on a spreadsheet, people's addresses, phone numbers, t-shirt sizes. I did the t-shirt, I ordered the t-shirts way in advance. So I was like, right, everything needs to start. I ordered like extra sizes as well, just in case we were getting orders. But if I'm honest, I mean, I don't think I'd ever do a Kickstarter again, as much as it's great for people. I think it was just so we were safe if we didn't get any orders, because it was like, if we don't make it, it's fine. Because I didn't want to invest into the record and all that packaging, and no one to buy it. So I think it was just a safety net. But I don't think I'd do another Kickstarter, because they do take a big chunk of that.
Do they? I had no
Yeah,
idea.
they do. It's very sneaky, because they charge for a bank transfer, like for them to take the money and then give me the
Right.
money. It was like, right, so you've just taken pretty much a massive chunk of something. It's a great starter for people, especially for people like small bands, and people that are doing, when you see like these board games and everything, it's great. And you see them have like 2 million
Yeah.
places. It's like, wow, that's amazing. But Kickstarter gets a massive chunk of that, and you're just like, wow. So that was a weird process for me, and I was like, I don't think charging to take the money out of people's banks, keeping it for a few days, and then sending it to me was the best, thing from them. I understand that they have to take like 5%. Was it 5% or 10%? They took a percentage, but to have that on top was a bit like, because I didn't realize how much postage has changed for US, Spain, everything. So when I've charged, I'm thinking, yeah, it shouldn't be no more than £10, £15. Jesus, it's cost me £25 to send to America. I was like, oh, this is dreadful. This is dreadful. So like, profits went right down. I was just like, oh wow, everybody's got it. Everyone's happy.
I mean, it must be kind of cool just to know that there's people literally around the world that are still jamming to your tunes as well.
Yeah, of course, man. It was all about just releasing that record. I was going to do anything it took, even if I had to just invest more money into it. It's not really about the money for me and Dan. It was all about making sure the project was like done, and like, doing packages like this for people that ordered the big anthology. Do you know what I mean? Just making sure everybody got what they wanted, and I think it just came out great. And I'm glad everybody waited for that book as well, because I've had more people react to the book than the actual record.
Oh, really?
Yeah, no, in a good way. Like,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
they
yeah, yeah, of
know the
course.
record, they look at the record and they go, that's a pretty sweet ass record. But when they get the book, they're like, the book is amazing. That's the one.
We were talking about the book. So the book is one of the parts of the package that everyone got. It came with every record, and it's an amazing piece. I've got the my copy here. My name's in it. I'm pretty chuffed about that. And but one of the more sort of poignant bits about the book that I wanted to talk to you, if that's all right, is on the last page. There is a really poignant tribute to a fan by the name of Johnny Morrison, and obviously without prying into details and everything like that, can you just tell us a little bit about how he reached out to you and the story behind that?
I've known Johnny since he was maybe 16, 15, 16, 17. So he was a really great kid. Do you know what I mean? Full of life. And they were all like in a little group, and they were always at Valve shows in Leeds, and I heard that he passed away. I actually saw on social media that he passed away. Um, I think it was just mid year. I can't remember the month. I don't know the details. I didn't really want to know because, it was very. I was quite traumatized by it because it wasn't so long ago that I spoke to him, and I did speak to him here and there, and yeah, it was just very sad, and I was really down for most of that week about it. And he was just a great kid, absolutely great. Loved every Leeds band. I mean, he was big fans of like Pulled by Horses. He was just always at the shows. He also did charity work as well. Just a really nice kid, absolutely brilliant. And it was really sad when I looked back at the messages and I saw what he said, because I didn't want to give too much away, because I think that was 2019. I messaged him, and me and Dan was already on about the next release, the gigs and everything, but we knew we couldn't do it till 2020. Obviously, with COVID, we can't do it. But yeah, I was just giving him a little little hint, like, yeah, it's all coming. But yeah, when he said he'll be at the front, yeah, it's going to be sad not to see him there, but he'll be at every show anyway, and I think we'll pay tribute to him at every show that we do when we start playing. Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, the tribute in the back, the way that it's framed, is sort of the actual conversation that you two have. It's such a more personal and an original way to celebrate someone and sort of show that not only do you have sort of a lasting connection with people that have enjoyed your music, but that it's that thing that it gives that personal, very sort of authentic way of celebrating someone, isn't that? Seeing the actual conversation they have with you, and yeah, it really did strike a chord, and it was very very bittersweet in a way that it was very sort of touching, but obviously very very tragic.
Yeah, of course. Again, like, I don't know the details. To me, everybody in Leeds who knew Johnny and read that bit of the book were all choked up about it, because they knew him as that kind of guy. He was always making sure everybody was okay, or when you're next playing a gig, hope you guys get back together, and looking forward to it and everything. And it would have been great to see him there, and all that little group, because there was a kid named Chris as well, who was like a little twin of mine. He looked exactly like me when I was very big. So when we were next to each other, we looked like brothers. So that I just remember just having many laughs with that little group, and they were just kids. Do you know what I mean? And it's nothing better, especially when I was that age at 16, and I was seeing bands like Slipknot, or like when you really like get excited to see a band. So it was nice to get that. I don't know how I used to feel when I was 16, and all these kids just around at the front, and they're all singing along and everything. So yeah, but yeah, Johnny was great, and everybody, all the Leeds bands, the main Leeds bands, would know who Johnny is, because he was just a great kid. You know what I mean? Awesome. But yeah, it's all a tribute to him, and he would have loved this record as well because he would have had it in the collection and all that. But yeah, he's a great kid.
Absolutely. But speaking of the collection, obviously I was one of the lucky few to get the Anthology Collection that came with basically everything at all was chucked into this collection. But one of the more sort of underrated things, which I don't think got as much sort of time in the in sort of the promotion leading up to it, is this little thing, my little USB drive, which has basically a time capsule of everything Valve, so digital copies of albums, bootleg videos, everything and more. And I wanted to know, is that something that you had sort of lying around on your desktop already, or just on a hard drive? And was there any sort of sense of nostalgia in sort of piecing it all together for this release?
I think originally I was just only going to do a USB, and I think it was just going to have the We're a Uni, just basically the whole anthology of Castrovalva plus the little mini EP. I was going to have the whole of the mini EP on there, but I haven't had the chance to do all the vocals over the music because we had this idea of also doing the very first little mini album. So I only did, I think it was Max Rhodes and Bauhausen. But yeah, I mean, I had all these little ideas and all these demos and all old bands and bands that we used to work with, and I reckon, you guys would like. So I just stuck as whatever I could on there and all the videos and everything. It's just a shame that we didn't have the videos that we filmed back in 2010 for Hooligans and I think it was Outlaws. There was a guy who filmed those two songs. His name was James, and we cannot track him down. And it's such a shame because those videos would have been absolutely brilliant for this release or to put on YouTube. And I would have loved to have seen them, but yeah, we didn't have those. But yeah, I mean, the USB was just for people just to get that little, I don't know, sneaky peek of what it was like for us to do demos. I mean, did you listen to the demos? How rough they were and what they were. That's what I mean. Like, it's just nice to listen to something rough cut, and it's like, oh my god, that song's that one, and that was that idea. You know what I mean? So, yeah, it was just. I just thought I'd put a little treat on there, but I did put on the folder. So you open the fucking box. So if you if you did open the box, you'll know that So I thought I'd put a little joke in the folder.
I mean, the optimist in me says that hidden away amongst all those demos and those odds and ends is album 3 in its embryonic form, but who knows? Yeah. Who knows?
I didn't give too much away because there was a few tracks that I did have which would go into the next if we did, I'm not saying I can't say, but if we did, yes, we have many songs stored away on all our especially on my laptop, iCloud drive thing or whatever. So when I go back and I look through my iCloud, I just see all these little demos or something numbered. I'm like, what's that? And I'm like, oh, I remember that. So yes, there was many ideas ready for album 3 if it does come out.
I'm crossing everything.
I'm too old now. Too old.
Never.
I can't be running around now. That's it. You know what I mean? I'm looking forward to the reunion tour. The reunion tour is going to be great. I mean, with We're a Uni, listening to that album when I'm training or when I'm running, and then picturing when we're playing the show and how it's going to be. It's getting me excited again. It's making me. It's burning that fire in me. And also, like, Ants had a go at me and said, "Look, I need you to sound like the record." I'm like, "Yes, I will sound like the record. Don't you worry. You just worry about you." So we're kind of, making sure we pump each other up.
So have you been back like in the shower and everything, just like belting out the tracks again?
No, I haven't. I'm not that crazy. No, just on the headphones. It's because the album's just under half an hour. So if I'm doing a run and I listen to it twice over, it's just so I can like get the ideas of how we're going to do a certain track because there's so much going on. You got three members and so much going on. How can you put that in a gig and make it sound just like the record? So obviously I'm thinking, oh, maybe we can do it this way, and maybe I could have, this backing vocal, or maybe some, I don't know, some women doing backing vocals with me. You know what I mean? How can I double it up? How can we make it the show powerful? So I don't know. We'll see. I'm thinking, always thinking. I want it to be good. You want it to sound like the record, don't you?
Yeah, absolutely. But if you want to throw me the mic halfway through for me to shout, "Yo, man, you bring me that bass" or whatever, then we'll suck it up and I'll do it. But speaking of the coming live shows, obviously when we chatted back in July, there was sort of a slim chance that there might have been gigs by the end of 2020, which obviously didn't transpire. But you have announced your first confirmed date, which is Arctangent next year. So how does it feel to have Castrovalva back on a festival bill for an upcoming show?
We couldn't actually. We knew we were playing Arctangent Festival, we just couldn't announce it. So Dan was making sure. He was like, "Do not say anything. We are playing shows." And I'm like, "Oh, don't worry, I won't." He was like, "Don't you?" So yes, we wasn't allowed to announce anything until the festival was announced. So yeah. So and also. I mean, they've been great to us. We've played with those, we've played that festival before and it was absolutely brilliant. But they wanted us first before we went on the road. So we have to do the festival first and then we will go on the road.
I see.
But I can't announce what dates we're doing that. So
without saying the dates, there are actual dates set.
There aren't. Wow, with all this COVID going on, I can't really plan anything. You never know. There might be COVID point 2, do you know what I mean, in 2021, and then it's just like, So I reckon I could talk to it's all, I have to just ring somebody, want to play London, Birmingham, Leeds, done. Maybe, I don't know, Manchester or something. Nothing too big, but I reckon 4 or 5 shows. Yeah, 4 or 5 shows, we'll see. But I reckon definitely after the festival.
Fair
enough. I'm hoping after the festival. But I can't say because obviously I haven't spoken to anybody just yet. But people will, I'm sure, love to have us in their town.
Absolutely. If you want to come down to Kent, I know at least 2 pubs that are worth going to. But yeah, I mean, as you said in the last interview, the last time we chatted, you finally be able to crowd surf.
Yes, I cannot wait. To be honest, that's what I mean. When I'm listening to the music, also I'm thinking, which bit can I crowd surf? You know what I mean? Which one? So I'm thinking either Better Make That Money just at the end, because it's quite a long ending, or not Hooligans, because maybe Hooligans, maybe, I'm not sure. And again, I don't even know how we're going to do Hooligans, but I reckon we could do it. I can't play sax, but I'm sure I can find somebody to play sax.
I'm afraid I can't play sax, but
no.
But yeah, I mean, you could always do it like first note of the show, just jump in, last note, come back, just do the whole thing crowd surfing.
Yeah, I mean, this is what I mean. The whole point of the tour is for me to crowd surf. Do you know what I mean? That's it.
I've heard just
to be, and I'm going to run around, and my cardio is just going to be up. So I cannot wait. Do you know what I mean? But also, I have to concentrate on my vocals, because Anne's made sure that I have to concentrate on vocals.
Absolutely. But obviously, this is the 10-year anniversary of We Are a Unit, but we are only 2 short years away from the anniversary of your second album, You're Not in Hell, You're in Purgatory, my friend. Do you think there's any chance, you know where I'm going with this, for any kind of special anniversary release of that? Or do you think this was it, and this is sort of where all the energy went?
I thought about this. Now, if I was going to do a reissue of that album, I would probably do I don't know. I'll probably do an anthology again, but just one big disc with Purgatory on one side and We're a Unit on the other, because they're both. I think they're only 26 minutes each side, and I think that fits on a 12-inch. And obviously, as you can tell from the anthology of how it looks, it would obviously look pretty crazy if you've got two albums on either side. But I think that's the only way I would do it, because we never really got much feedback from the second album. I think I Am a Golden Widow. I mean, even now, I mean, I see it on Spotify, and apparently that's the biggest track. And I'm like, really? That one? Right, okay, fine. Catchy chorus, but yeah, sure. But yeah, I would like to do something, but I think We're a Unit is very special. I don't want to take its shine away. Do you know what I mean? Like with the book and everything. Because I think Ant was like, oh, we should maybe do another book for the second album. Or it was Dan, it was one of them. And I was like, I don't know, because it's very unique, that book. And that's definitely 10 years. And that's where we first started. It's got the tribute to Johnny. It's got what we worked with Kickstarter. You know what I mean, when I look at this book now, and with the lyrics and everything, and with all the color coded and everything, and the pictures of what we look like now, and you know what I mean, I don't think this can be replicated into the second album. It's just very unique. It's a one-off for me, and I don't think it needs to be added into the second album. But if we did do the second album, I'll probably do an anthology and both albums on either side of the record.
Very cool. Very cool.
And the design would be amazing.
Absolutely. Of course it would. Of course it would. It's interesting because, funnily enough, that is the album that I first discovered you guys through, because I started listening to you probably about 2013. I mentioned the first time I saw you was supporting Jamie Lemon in London. And so that it was only through that I found We Are a Unit. And so I can't, both of them have that sort of that special place for me now. So it would be great as a sort of a late lapsed later fan who discovered you nearer the end to have both. But that's just me being selfish and needy. But yeah.
But you've got the second album now in the anthology.
I got two copies of it. I had it before. I had a copy before this one.
That's the thing. About it. I was like, I'm sure most of these people have the second record, so why am I adding in the second record? I was like, I could sell these, but no. It all looks nice together. And did you like your slip mat? Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, that's on the player. It's great. It's great. I mean, that artwork is fantastic. It's sort of it's so Valve because it's so sort of sporadic and has so much of a mix of everything that it just fits so well. And Donut looks pretty great on it as well.
Yeah, I mean, big up Vinyl Art Co. They were great. We were the first people to have that shaped vinyl. I mean, you can see in the book as well our conversations. I think it's Marshall, his name is. Our conversations together. First, we were going to have the C donut, and then he couldn't do the clear behind it. If he would have done the clear and it went round, I would have kept the C donut. But they don't have that the material to do it or something. I don't know. But I was like, right, okay, so how can we do this? Well, if you do a whole donut. So I got my friend John to just just fill in the donut. I sent it straight away to Vinyl Art Co. They knocked it out, and they were just like, what are we going to do about the middle? I was like, just acrylic, just, clear. So it spins. Showed them examples of what I meant. I think I got the idea from the Glass Jaw, 7 inches. From what EP? I think it was like Jesus Glue and everything, where they had like the Glass Jaw logo in the middle, and then you put it inside. I was like, can you do something like this? You know what I mean? They're like, yeah. I was like, go for it. So yeah, that's just unique. And obviously the guys at the printing place, we did the donut box as well, which was stressful as well for me to do, because I had to go in Illustrator and create a box, get it printed, cut them all out, make it into a donut box. Yeah,
Constant
yeah,
lawsuits from Dunkin' Donuts.
yeah, Tom. This was all DIY craziness, and I'm surprised I survived it.
I mean, I'm glad you did, because it is one. I mean, I've got mine. I've got mine out of the box here, and yeah, it's a mighty fine, tasty looking record, if I do say
It
so.
is. It is.
But yeah, I mean, that is it for the questions that I've had. So before we end, is there anything else you want to plug or talk about with the album, or anything else you want to add?
Again, just people who miss the campaign or Kickstarter or anything. I only have a few copies. Do you know what I mean? I've sent copies out to various record stores in Leeds and everything, and some online. Some of my favorite online record stores like Norman Records, and there's another one. I forgot what the name is, but yeah, they go into other records stores. But I only have a few signed left. I think I've only got 12 now, so I recommend getting that. And you can pick your own number. It's good now around this time to pick your own number, because it's like date of births. I've got like 86, 92, 94. Do you know what I mean? So it's good for people to pick the date of birth if they missed
Absolutely.
out.
There you
Yeah.
go. There you go. And for anyone that might want to follow you guys and whatever you're doing in future online, where can people find you and Valva?
Just Instagram, I think it's at the Valva. Yes, at the Valva, and just type in Castrovalva and anything will come up. I'm sure Ant's and Dan's beautiful face will come up first, and then I'll follow. So yeah.
There you have it. There you have it. Well, Leemun, it's been an absolute pleasure chatting to you
Thank
again. Fingers crossed, one day in the future, next year, we can finally have a drink in person and do it proper. But until then, best of luck with the rest of the album cycle, whatever you want to call it, and everything you've got going on up until 2021.
Yes, Tom. Thank you so much for the support. Anyway, you've been great.